Hello, welcome to Sammy's Chaotic Kitchen. We are in our summer series. We're gonna be making some tostadas today. So what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want some ground turkey. You're gonna want some garlic, some shallots, some peppers, avocado. You're gonna want some black beans. You can use regular rice or cauliflower rice. I'm using cauliflower rice. And then I'm also gonna throw on some broccoli for just some extra green in there. And then tortillas. So I have a nice little setup right now. I have 2 of my tortillas that are gonna be set up on an oven, going into the oven. I'm actually going to preheat that now to 425 degrees. I use chickpea tortillas just because I can't eat gluten. So I use the Siete brand chickpea flour tortillas. Feel free to use whatever tortillas you want to, but that's just what I use. And then in a different pot, you're going to put your chopped up garlic and your chopped up, wow, what's the word? Like, what are these called? Shallots. There we go. And I'm just going to turn that on and start to let that cook. I've got my ground turkey ready. You're also going to want some paprika. I ran out of chili powder and I also ran out of cumin, so I'm just gonna use this and this, and we're gonna call it a day. I am already going to season this already, just so I can get that paprika like nice and toasty, because this is just regular. I get my stuff from the co-op and they didn't have smoked paprika when I went. They only had regular, so that's just what I grabbed. But then I'm also just gonna throw in just a little bit of oregano, just because although it is not an Italian dish, oregano is just really overall good for your health. So I just like to throw that in whenever I can. Let me put my spices back. I would add onion and garlic powder, but we already have some fresh and ready to go. As you can see, I've already chopped a lot of stuff already. I've got my black beans already rinsed in the sink, so we're just kind of ready to go. Now I'm using cauliflower rice. I just get it frozen. I'm just gonna steam this for 4.5 minutes. And I've also got frozen broccoli that I'm also going to steam for 4.5 minutes while we wait for everything to heat. So that way, by the time those 2 things are done, this will be done. We'll put it all together. We'll put it in the oven. We'll pull it out, and we've got tostadas. Again, welcome to my chaotic kitchen. I know for those of you watching, you probably want to know how Toast is. He's good. He just had dinner. But he's a good nub. Back to the floor. He's just sitting right by me today. Yeah, so we're going to heat this up. Just get kind of our onions and garlic really toasty is kind of the goal. Like, we really want these to get aromatic before I add the ground turkey. Pro tip, cut your garlic. Don't heat it for at least 10 minutes and then heat it. You get better nutrients that way. If you've been following along the blogs, you would know that information. I think that one's already out, potentially. If it's not, my bad. You will know that information soon. But otherwise, like I said, we are just letting those things heat up. Now, I'm already really prepared for this because I don't want to waste anyone's time on our cooking show. So I just have like mini peppers, and I just kind of cut them up in circles. So I took my mini pepper, I just chopped it out right on down. I just got some orange, yellow, and red peppers in here ready to go. I already used this avocado yesterday, so I'm gonna use the other half today to garnish on top, which is nice so we don't have to chop things up as we go. Otherwise, what you would do is you would chop up all of your onions and garlic. You would throw the onion in there. You would throw your turkey in there because you're letting your garlic sit out for 10 minutes. And then you would add in your garlic. You'd add in your seasonings and all of that. I'm going to add a little bit of salt to this as well. because I need to eat salty things. If you want to add salt, go for it. If you don't want to add salt, that's really fine. Up to you. Personal preference. I think salt brings out a lot of flavor, so I use sea salt, which is a good one to use. And then what we're gonna do is kind of combine almost everything together. So we're gonna do like the black beans in with the rice, in with the broccoli, and then eventually our meat will also go on top of that, kind of in one big bowl, and then that's all gonna go into the oven together. You can also, as an option, if you don't want to use black beans, you can use refried beans, which is what I did the last time I made these, but I wanted to try it out a little bit differently today, by using black beans and just kind of putting them on top. What the refried beans will do, and I recommend if you are not into pork, getting the vegetarian version, because a lot of them are made with pork fat, is to slather it on your tortilla, and then it's gonna get really, really crispy. Especially if you're not using cheese. You can absolutely use cheese on this. You do not have to, but if you want to, again, go for it. I just like the crunchiness of the tostada, which is why we're bringing the oven up so high in this kind of instance. So we're gonna grab my bucket, aka Tupperware, that I am going to be putting in the fridge with all of this in it, just so we are ready and warm to go. All right, this is doing its thing. We're warming up. We've got our cauliflower rice done, and our broccoli is going in. This is starting to sizzle, which is what we want. I really underestimated the time that this would take, which is fine. So again, we're putting that in, clean it up as we go, because we like to clean the kitchen. I got my black beans. Those are gonna go right in there. And we're just gonna stir that together. Because like I said, all of this is going to go onto a tortilla. So it doesn't really matter. Like if things are separated or mixed, it's all going to go on there. Fun thing that I'm going to add to mine is actually going to be sweet potatoes. Because I have some left over. So I'm just going to throw those on there because that's what I've got left over. Ooh, that smells so good. Okay, so we're gonna add in our turkey. I normally just plop mine in, peel off the paper. And then we're just kind of chopping up our block of ground turkey and incorporating it with our seasonings, with our garlic and our shallots, and we are letting that puppy cook. You don't have to move it around a lot if you don't want to. I just want to get things incorporated. I want to make sure that nothing gets stuck. All right. Again, we are being a clean kitchen and throwing things away. Washing our hands because that was raw meat. Please practice safe raw meat handling practices. And also a really great thing about this being in the oven is it's only gonna take about 5 minutes in the oven before we complete. And this is another one where it is at nighttime, you're gonna see the final product. I wish it could be like kind of faster for you guys sometimes. I feel like these videos drag on. It's just a bunch of silence and you guys are just watching me cook, which can be kind of therapeutic for some people, but you know. We're just cooking up our turkey. Turkey cooks pretty fast, which is nice. It's not like beef that takes kind of forever. Doesn't take that long if you move it around. Plus, it's also going to be going in the oven, so if you have like a little bit underdone, not really a big deal because it's going to get cooked in the oven. But for the most part, you do want it cooked. Which we are getting there, only a couple more minutes. Just about done, and we're going to add that to our mix of cauliflower rice in a minute because broccoli can get pretty watery. So I'm actually going to drain this in my strainer that I strained my beans in and then get all that excess water out. And it goes into our mixture. And I like to always have whatever green I can in every meal that I eat. Plus, cruciferous vegetables are just really good for you, and frozen broccoli is pretty cheap. So, in this economy, we kind of need it. All right, cleaning up our messes as we go. Our meat is definitely getting there. We're not quite all the way cooked. Turn on my fan here. So we're getting a little steamy. But this is something you can make almost in a batch, which is pretty nice to just kind of, even garlic over here, to just kind of batch cook it. Doesn't take super long. You know, this is something you can make in 30 minutes or less. And I'm going to grab my sweet potatoes from the fridge. Because like I said, I just have extra from a previous meal and I want to use them up. And I'm just going to put those on my tortillas. Just so I have a little extra bit of heartiness in there. And they have really good, sweet potatoes have like very good vitamins and minerals and things like that. I think I used those in a veggie bowl a couple days ago. Fridge. All right, we are cooking down. We are almost there to be able to kind of put all of this together and then into the oven, which is still not preheated yet, so it kind of works out perfectly. All right, we are going to add just a little bit of this mixture onto our, there's our oven, onto our tortillas. Doesn't have to be a lot, but enough. I like a heartier meal, so I'm going to add a little bit more. I want that protein from my beans. Eventually it will all get put together, but for right now, as we wait for our turkey to finish up cooking. And the nice thing also about putting this in the oven is gonna crisp up that cauliflower, rice, and broccoli mixture. So it's not as sloppy. All right. Adding some of our turkey mixture in here. All right. Yes, this is still on. So right now, here's what we're looking like before we get into the oven. We got some tostadas. Now, you just eat it like that if you are impatient. Otherwise, we're gonna throw this sucker in the oven right on the top rack for about 5 minutes. And then I'm gonna finish up with this turkey on the stove. We're gonna get some cleanup done in that time, which is great. We are going to chop up our avocado. We're gonna drink some water because we're staying hydrated. This hydration is important. I don't know about you, but I love drinking out of a glass. Just hits different. All right, so while our stuff is cooking, we are going to get our avocado ready. So I've already got mine half peeled. And I just cut the avocado in its skin because my knives are not very sharp and they're not going to cut me. And then I will cut them into cubes before I put them on top of my lovely tostadas in a little bit here. Again, we are cleaning up as we go because we are efficient. We are efficient. And into our mixture, we're gonna put our turkey mixture. Just have it all together because it doesn't matter how you store things at all. Just a couple more minutes in that oven. I'm gonna mix this together so it's fully incorporated. So we already have leftovers ready in a Tupperware, ready to go in the fridge once it cools down a bit more. Easy cleanup, not super messy, which is great. Just fully incorporating things in. It is very good to have a big plate for this because it could be a pretty messy dish. So I'm going to grab my favorite plates in the world. I love a bowl plate, and that's what we're going to use. Once we're done garnishing, we just got about maybe 2 minutes here, and then we're going to pull it out of the oven. But right now we are getting nice and crispy. All of my tortillas are going like this, which is what we like to see because that means those ends are getting super, super crispy and nice. And then we're just gonna top it. Get my avocado ready. Avocados and me are a messy situation. Always. I've never had a good avocado pull ever. It's always been messy, which is okay. That's why it's my chaotic kitchen, ladies and gentlemen. Or just ladies, to be honest. And now we just wait, because we're basically ready. Make sure you get your hand protection on, since we probably got maybe 30 seconds before I can take these out of the oven. And then it's dinner time. I'm actually gonna turn that fan off because it's a little obnoxious. I tend to cancel my oven. I have toast sitting on my foot. He's like, what's here? I would like some. You're gonna have to move when I open this. It's gonna be very warm, Bubba. He just likes to be a part of everything. Okay, dokie, almost there. One of my clocks is right, one of them is wrong, so my wrong clock needs to turn. Once it turns, I can take them out. So maybe a little more than 30 seconds. Sorry guys. Awkward silence. Until I can take these out. They're looking good though. They're looking good. All right. Nice and crispy. Taking our tostadas out of the oven. If you want to crisp them up more, you absolutely can. If you don't want to just do, the 5 minutes, you could absolutely do more than that. If you feel up to it, like that's totally fine. You do you. If you like something a little crispier, if you're like, no, I need some more of this, that's fine. That's totally fine. I'm actually gonna keep this fork. All right, avocados on. And then we're just going to put on our garnish, our peppers, make it nice and colorful. These peppers were sitting with my onions, so they're probably gonna be a little harsh, but that is what the avocado is for. All right. And here we have it. 23 minutes later, but we've got it. Tostadas, piping hot out of the oven. Any questions on it, feel free to drop a comment below, but this is, again, a part of our summer recipe series. Enjoy.